Hey neighbors, Kevin here with eTrailer, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Furrion Tankless Water Heater. This is a 16 by 16. There's also a 16 by 18 and an 18 by 18 inch door. The water heater is a standalone option as well, so you don't always have to buy the door, but you will want to, so that way you can actually cover this up. With this being a 16 by 16 already, it was really easy to just swap over to that. I know a lot of the time with some older trailers, it's going to be a much larger unit just because those old tanked ones, especially like a 10 or 12 gallon tank, really had a huge opening here. So if you've had a tanked system, you'll know that there is a lot of drawbacks with it in terms of the efficiency, the capacity that you have, just overall the looks. You know, when it comes to the controller inside, usually it's that old outdated just little flip switch and maybe a light. With this, you're getting a much more efficient unit. You're going to be getting a lot more hot water, and you're not going to have that huge weight. Now, when you first get to your campsite with a tanked one, you'll have to hook up to your water, wait for the tank to fill, and then heat up. So you have this long process. You're probably going to be waiting at least an hour for that to fill and then heat. Whereas with this system, all we need to do, we hook right up, we'll start running water through it, and then once we go inside and hit on our hot water, we're going to have that instant hot water. I mean, it should only take you a couple seconds just for it to make it from our water heater over to that point of contact at the faucet. All right, so to give you an idea, we have a infrared thermometer. Honestly, a probe tester would be a little bit better since we are using this on water, but it is what we have for today. So this is going to read the surface temperature. I'm going to use this to show you what our water is coming out at. We have it set for 120 on the thermostat. So I'm getting 115, 116. So we're pretty much there, and you can kind of maybe see it through the camera. I can't tell, but there's some steam kind of coming up from here too. But I hit 119 and then came back. It's probably catching my hand, but it was at 118 for a second there. Like I said, this isn't the best tester to really show it, but just to give you an idea, we are getting up to that temp really quickly, and it's passing right through, just through those the plumbing that comes through the floor. Now, if you're expecting it to immediately kick right into hot, it's not going to, just because you do have to get that pressure through. So depending on a few other factors, so if it's cold outside, obviously if you don't have enough insulation for those, typically, especially with all new trailers, it's probably going to be PEX. So there isn't really any insulation around that unless the manufacturer really wanted to go above and beyond. So you could run into a few issues where you might need to turn the temperature up a little bit more, just because by the time it gets over that point of contact, it's just not, it's cooling down in the line as it comes through. So if you're really wanting to get it to that one specific temperature, you might need to kind of play around with some things. So to do the math for you, our old unit was a Suburban, and that was rated at 12,000 BTUs. With our Furrion one, this is going to have a range. So depending on how you set your temperature and set your water pressure, that's going to kind of vary how much that BTU is going to be up or down. So this is going to go from 13,000 BTUs all the way up to 60,000 BTUs at its max capacity. So the math to change that over to our actual output, so with the old one, it was a gas and electric combo, but you could do it separately. So if you're using just the 120 volt service and using that heating element that was in it, that's going to give you about 6 gallons per hour. And the combo of both gas and electric in it was giving you 16 gallons. With our Furrion unit, that's going to give you up to 144 gallons per hour. So that way you don't have to choose between being able to have someone taking a shower and doing the dishes at the same time. You're going to be able to do both and not have to worry that you're going to run out of hot water. So an added benefit with this as well is that it's going to come with a wall thermostat, which will allow you to change your temperature to whatever you want. So say we're going to go down to 111, we'll leave it right there, and as this sets itself, now it's going to start changing our temperature. But since we don't have a tank, you're not going to hear it kicking on right away until a faucet is actually turned on. And then that vortex mixer is going to mix the cold and hot water and send it out so that it's right at that 111 temp. So with this thermostat, you can also change your temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius and back, and then it's also going to tell you when the flame is kicking on. So when our unit's actually running, that should light up as well. And if you do have any kind of issue with it, this is where you would see your error code pop up. So aside from all the conveniences, this also is packed with a whole lot of safety features. If we open up our door just a bit, there we go, pop that out. You can see in here we have the drain. If I pop out this baffle as well, we have our drain right here, and on the back side we have the vortex chamber, and connected to that is a pressure and temperature safety valve. So if the temperature ever got too high or the pressure was just too high, it's going to automatically kick that water right out here, right through the door, so that way no one's getting burned and there's not going to be a blowout with the vortex chamber. Along with that, there is also protection for the electrical components. We got a fuse right here, which is going to protect us in case there's any kind of electrical shock through the system here. That'll help protect our circuit board, and then all we have to do is just swap out a simple fuse. They've also built in some road shock absorption too, so any vibration you get, because obviously trailers are going to be bumping around as you go down those gravel roads or even just the highway, and we don't want anything in here to get damaged. So all of the electronics have shock absorption in it, so that way nothing's going to come loose. We don't have any contacts breaking off. One other very important thing that you're going to want to pick up along with your water heater is a water pressure regulator. If you don't already have one, that's going to help save all of your plumbing in your trailer, so that the high water pressure coming from whatever place you hook up to doesn't just blow through and bust all those fittings. And if you didn't have that on there and the water pressure was too high, that's where that safety valve that's going to push water out the drain tube. Let me pull it down and show you. Oh, catching right here. There we go. So back behind the baffle, that's what I was talking about before. That's that drain line. So that pressure and temperature safety valve would kick in because the pressure is too high and we don't want to destroy our water heater. So it's going to just push that right out. So then your water heater is not going to be functioning either. So definitely pick one up. It's not really expensive. You can find them for pretty cheap. And it's just added safety so that you don't have to start pulling up floors and walls to try and figure out where those leaks are coming from. Well, I think that does it for our look at the Furrion Tankless water heater. My name is Kevin, and if you still have some questions about our Furrion Tankless water heater, or maybe you're just still wondering if that's going to be the right fit for your specific trailer, then please feel free to reach out to us via our Ask the Experts link or a comment on this video, and we'd be happy to help you out on your journey.